Hey guys! This is not my favorite angle, but it's what's working right now because my other little setup is falling down. So Jessica Pasola here. We just bought a new house 3 days before I went into labor, and so I haven't quite figured out like an office space going on yet, so it's a little funky, but I want to make sure that you guys can hop on and everything first. So I only see one viewer yet. Hopefully this is the invite surge and I didn't just open myself up in the wrong group. I think I said this in the income surge. That's like my biggest fear. So tell me if I'm in the wrong group. Okay. So I want to give you guys a couple minutes for this to pop up in your news feed so that I don't start any prevalent info without you guys on. Good. Okay, I think I'm in the right place. Okay, I can see that you guys are hopping on. Good, good, good. I'm so excited to share about free groups with you guys. This is so near and dear to the heart of my business these days, and it's actually really funny because when I first started as a coach, I, for the life of me, could not figure out why free groups would be valuable. To me, my why had everything to do with mainly finances, to be able to be home with my kids, and so it was like weird to me that people were doing these free groups when they could just sell challenge packs and just make money off of that, you know, in that sense. And I know that makes me sound really shallow, but it's true. That's just how my brain was thinking about it. And what I ended up realizing is that there's so many incredible things that can happen when you add value to people with a servant heart. You are no longer expecting anything, and yep, people can become challengers from free groups. In fact, we're going to talk about that. But when you go into it not expecting anything specifically to come back to you, but you just offer this free value to build that trust and that relationship, a strong bond is made. And it can take time, but through time, a much stronger bond can be made than if you just kind of go right for, getting a challenge pack for somebody necessarily, which is not a bad thing either. Sometimes people are ready, and that's okay. I sign up challengers without free groups too, but this is such a great entry point, especially for cold market. This has really, really helped my cold market, but it's also really, really helped my brand new coaches. Sometimes when we're first launching a business, we kind of need to gain credibility. And so that I know, like, all my new coaches, part of our training, run a free group. That's one of the first things I tell them to do. And so for me too, I realized that the first 7 seconds, the first 7 seconds of when somebody, this is something I learned in church ministry, of when somebody pulls into your parking lot, they make a first impression. So on social media, your first impression probably is in the first 2 to 3 seconds, guys. So when you are doing a free group, you need to give it everything you would just like one of your normal groups. It's not an afterthought. It's not something that you put on the back burner because it's free. It's something that really literally is the entry point into how they see your coaching. So you need to give your free group everything above and beyond, right? Just like you would your VIP challenge groups. So make sure that your cover photo is on point and that you've got some content in there before they hop on. I usually do a video at the top. We're going live right away, but I try to introduce myself and get them seeing me face to face as much as possible, because something I learned before I was a coach, I'd never done a selfie. And something I learned is that when people see your eyes, they learn to trust you more. So you want to be right in front of them, as personable as possible. And that definitely helps. I'm looking over here because I want to make sure that, yep, okay, good. I see that people are in this group. We're good. It's the right group. All of that good stuff. So last spring, I did a large free group, like a long, I shouldn't say large, although it was large, but a longer free group. So something that I did is I started to realize that I was having a harder time getting people into my challenge groups. And so I thought, maybe I'll do a longer free group and really just pour into it and see if that makes a difference. I do, by the way, still do 7-day groups and all of that, but I really try to do one long free group once a quarter. And what ended up happening is it ended up just being this incredible avenue for me to connect with a bunch of cold market people. I used a lot of ads, which I won't talk too much about because I know I only have 10 minutes. So that's a different topic. But I used a lot of ads for my cold market, which is great. Even without a big budget, like Nikki said, use them. But also with my warm market, I wanted to bridge some gaps there as well. So I came up with a system that I want to share with you guys because this is an action-based training, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and share some different techniques with your warm market that you can use as well. But first I want to say that with all of your different groups, guys, your free groups can be anything. My large group that I did was a back to the basics clean eating group. That's great, but you can also get creative. You guys know me if you watch The Income Surge. I'm all about creativity, thinking outside the box. I have a PS coach right now, Sam. Shout out to Sam if she's watching. She's doing a Truth or Dare free group right now, and it is awesome. And I can't wait to do it next month, Sam. It's just amazing. It's all about truth or dare with fitness, and it's such a great way to share how this community is fun. You know, that's a great way to do it. Next month, she's doing Spin the Bottle. She's working with a graphic design artist to make her group a spin the bottle type of action based, and I just think that's so cool and so creative. I've done faith groups. You can do crock pot groups. You can do coconut oil. I have a coach right now that is almost in over her head because she has so much interest for her toddler lunches group, how to make good healthy toddler lunches. And that's her target market. These moms are going crazy in that group. They are so excited, and she has a ton of people in that group that are on her dream team list, okay? So lots of times, again, this is just an entry point for you to be able to bridge that gap. So what I'm going to teach you to do, if you don't already, and was something that my coaches and I are doing right now in our own Fearless Actions training, is we are basically creating a list of 60 people. So at the beginning of the month, created a list of 60 people, and I love bomb them. Okay, so what I mean by that, what is love bombing? Love bombing is liking and commenting on their stuff. It's not being a stalker. I think Dara touched on this. You do not want to comment and like their photos from 2007. It will look weird. So you just comment and like the stuff on their page and the stuff that is more current, so that you start to show up in their newsfeed. And then you're gonna 5 them. If you guys have ever heard of my 5-3-2 system that I think is actually from Lindsay, I use a combination that I learned from GoPro, and it's comment plus compliment plus question equals conversation. Comment plus compliment plus question equals conversation. So you love bomb them, you 5 them, nothing about Beachbody when you 5 them, guys. Nothing about necessarily health and fitness. It's legit just being like, hey Sally, always use their name, by the way. Hey Sally, I saw you pop up in my newsfeed. I see that you have a toddler boy. Oh my gosh, girl, I have a toddler too. We are in the middle of potty training right now. I'm trying to connect with other moms because it has been a battle. Do you have any tips for me? And always end in a question. But I'm adding this to my free group stuff because I think it's so important that we connect right away with a genuine connection. And by the way, guys, I learned how to potty train my son by using that. So it was genuine. And then from there, you create conversation. And then when you go back and you invite them to your free group, it doesn't seem weird, number one. And number two, you are continuing to add value to them. It should not be intimidating to invite people to a free group, guys. You're not asking them for anything. You literally just want to give to them. If it freaks you out a little bit, or if 60 people freak you out a little bit, first off, if your palms are sweaty, you're doing something right, okay? If you are uncomfortable, you are doing something right, okay? Successful people get uncomfortable. But if you don't feel like you can start with 60, start with 20, start with 30. I start off all my brand new coaches with 30, okay? And so you're gonna love bomb them, you're gonna create a 5 message, and then you're gonna invite them to the group. And I start my groups, my free group, halfway through the month, so I have a couple weeks where I can love bomb them and create conversation, okay? So you have that list, you're intentional. And guys, when I say you have that list, I mean you have your dream team list. Do not let the enemy get in your head and tell you that you are not deserving enough to have a conversation with somebody else. As in, I see people sometimes and I think to myself, and I'm guilty of it, I think to myself, she would never want to join me. She wouldn't want to be part of my free group. Like, that girl's way too cool. She wouldn't want to be part of this group. I don't know. It's kind of weird. Be awkward to invite her, right? No! Those are the people, by the way, that always say yes after I get out of my comfort zone and I just invite them after I've been building this contact with them and I invite them to be part of my free group. They oftentimes say yes. And so create that dream team. Those are the people that you want to be connecting with, or the people that you can see having a future on your team, right? So make sure that you have your dream team on your list. Okay, so you make that list, you love bomb them, you invite them to your group. And then the first thing I do in my free groups is I start up a conversation. So whether they requested to join from an ad from my cold market, or they said add me to the group, and I put them in, and I only ever put people in that ask to be added. I would never just randomly add people. I've seen coaches do that, and I think we've all been added to groups, and it's really uncool, right? If I get added to one more leggings group, I'm gonna freaking freak out. Not really, but you know what I'm saying. It's a lot, right? So once you get them in the group, you message them and you say, hey, Sally, I'm so excited that you said yes and that you're part of this group. Oh, this accountability and support is unmatchable. It's incredible, and I can't wait to just do this with you and help you in any way that I can, right? And then you say, what are your current health and fitness goals? And I know that we do that with challengers anyway, you guys, as we are messaging people to be in our challenge groups, but do that with your free groups as well, because here's the deal. It is going to help you with their long-term goals to not only end communicating with them about their goals after 7 days. Now you know that they are trying to get ready for a wedding in July and they want to lose 50 pounds. So now you have an amazing way to continue to follow up with them. Even if they don't join your challenge group, you have such a great platform to follow up with them and continue and say, hey girl, how's your journey going? I know that you are doing everything you can to get ready, and I just want to continue to support you. Hey, by the way, here's a healthy recipe I found that I think you would really, really enjoy. How's your journey going? How are you doing with everything? How can I support you? How can I pray for you? How can I lift you up? Obviously, you're not going to ask all those questions at once, but those are just different examples of how you can be a light to those people. And throughout the group, I continue to communicate with them. Hey, Sally, did you have any questions at all, whether they are participating or not? Here's the deal, guys. We've all had groups that are duds, okay? It is your job to show up every single day, no matter what. If the group is dead, you're posting in there every day and you keep that enthusiasm and you get excited and you do live videos if nobody even watches them. You do them. If anything, it's good practice. But you continue to make that group bomb no matter what, okay? And then when you follow up with them, I'll be the first person to tell you that I've had some dead groups before. It's happened. I've been the #1 challenger always, but I've had some dead groups. And even so, I have sold challenge packs coming out of those groups because I have continued to ask them about their goals. I've continued to build the trust. And let me tell you, I'm continuing to love bomb them, okay? So I'm continuing to go. So then I can go, hey, Sally, I saw that your daughter Brittany was sick. Oh, girl, I'm so sorry that you have to go through that right now. I know that that can kind of sabotage some things sometimes. I just want to encourage you to continue to eat clean or to continue to do this or whatnot. And besides praying for you, how else can I support you? What else can I do to help you in this? I want to be that accountability buddy for you. And so know their kids' names, know things about them, go to their page, understand who they are, right? And so that definitely helps as you're building that connection. So I do that throughout the entire free group. I continue to create that connection. I continue to ask them if they what they need from me. And then at the end of the group, I invite them to continue to take their results a step further. And by that time, I've built trust with them. I've built a relationship with them. So I don't feel like it's salesy. I don't feel like I don't know, just trying to get something out of them. I legitimately want to help them reach their goals. And when you know that's where your heart is, you've got nothing to lose. You can invite unapologetically, right? And so I will go in and I'll just say, hey, like, I'm so pumped that you were such a light throughout this group, that you've had such a good experience or whatnot, say something that can relate, and then just say, here's the deal, I know that you're getting ready for that wedding, and I actually have some tools that helped me lose 56 pounds, and I would love to continue to support you and lift you up and help you inside more of a VIP group. Is that something that you would be interested in at all? I would love to help you lose that 20 pounds. Is that something that you could see yourself doing as being in that group? And again, always end in a question. Do not settle the tension, okay? Always end in a question. And so then that really helps people get in those groups, whether they have been a big participant or not. I've created that behind the scenes. And so it's not weird for me to invite them, right? I've even invited them during the challenge sometimes, and it's not weird. It's just where the conversation went. Another thing that I've done, and I'll end with this because I know we don't have a lot of time, but I will end with this. I have actually last spring in that big group I was talking about, the main reason why I brought it up is because I ended up signing up 8 business coaches, okay, from that group alone. And I've done that before in other groups too, but from that group alone. And what I did is, it was so cool. The coolest part about this is that it was legitimately mainly cold market. And my last girl to sign up as a coach, Kim, is the reason why I went 15-star diamond. She was my last diamond to go 15-star, and it all came from cold market, all came from a free group that I poured into her. I loved on her. Sorry, I had to click the battery. I loved on her. I poured into her and connected with her. She signed up as a coach and she became a diamond coach. And the reason why that happened is because I was utilizing that 21 days. After about 5 to 7 days, I reached out and said, girl, you totally have the gift of encouragement. Guys, look in your free groups or challenge groups for the gift of encouragement. Look for it. That is what a coach is. A coach is a dang good encourager, okay? An accountability partner. So I let her know that she had the gift of encouragement, let her know that she would be an incredible coach. And I don't know if she'd ever consider it. Like, yeah, Kim, I don't know if you'd ever consider this, but I really see this gift in you. I think you'd be an incredible coach. We have such a fun team. My avatar is faith, so I do my ads towards people of faith. So I just said, we pray for each other. We are a strong community that loves God and supports each other and lifts each other up. Is that anything that you would want to be a part of? I mean, first off, how can you say no to that, right? But also, she did say no, okay? So she said, I'm going to be honest with you. It's definitely crossed my mind throughout this challenge that I might be good at this. However, I'm a single mom. I don't have a lot of time. And guys, Bonnie's going to go over objections tomorrow, so I won't hit that. But I'm a single mom. I don't have a lot of time. I don't know if I can do this. And so I'm just unsure. And I said, that's okay. Why don't you pray about it, and I'll pray about it, and then let's continue this conversation. Let's continue chatting about this. So keep your mind open about it. And guys, I'm going to be the first one to tell you that, or maybe not the first one, but I will tell you that 12 out of my 16 diamonds in my first business center all said no to me twice. My top coach said no to me twice and told me it was part of a pyramid scheme before she decided to coach. So people will say no. Get over it. It's just part of the process. It's a little tough love, but get over it. People are going to say no. It takes the average person 7 times to hear about something before they will commit. Guys, you might be the first time they hear about something, you might be the 7th. I know for me, it took me 6 months watching my coach before I reached out to her. You just don't know, okay? So she said no. I said, let's just keep the door open. You pray about it, I pray about it, we'll talk about it. Then I did a Challenger Spotlight on her and did that on her page, lifted her up for losing a couple pounds or just being a really great encourager in the group, whatever it is. And so I did a Challenger Spotlight on her. That affirmed her, gave her some confidence. And then I came back to her and said, hey, would you be willing to help me run this group at all, this free group? I have a template for it. I would love to have your help with posting on Wednesdays. Would you be willing to post Wednesday and Friday and use the template, but also go ahead and make it your own? Otherwise, you can just copy and paste and then add a picture. And she said she'd be honored. So she went back in and I introduced her to the group as a 21-day challenge coach that was helping me. I usually do this at the beginning of the challenge, and she helped. And then at the end of the challenge, I could say, girl, you are doing a lot of what a coach already does. You're just not getting paid for it. And I would absolutely love to work with you as a coach. Have you thought more about it? Do you think that you could do this? And it's just been amazing to watch my coaches come on board using that method, even in free groups. And that is something I like to do in a longer free group and in my challenge groups overall. So you don't have to always go from free group to challenger to coach. You can go from a free group who is a challenger, by the way. It still uses the vital process into being a coach. And it's just, knowing what to look for with that gift of encouragement. And what I mean by that is seeing people that are a light, seeing people that are encouraging other people on the posts or posting a lot. Those are people that would be great coaches or great challengers. And so reaching out to them and not being afraid to have those conversations. It's okay if you are nervous. If your palms are sweaty, you're doing something right. But it is not okay to not be fearless in your actions. You have to be. You have to be, or you will never know what could have been, right? So I say that to you in love. I hope this really, really helps you guys. I have not been able to see any comments. I think it's the way that my phone is turned or something, but I will go back and I will look at any questions or comments that you guys have, and I will answer anything that you guys have for me or any questions that you guys have for me. But thank you for listening, and we will just continue with Bonnie tomorrow. This is such a great opportunity. Lindsay Matway, thank you for this, and thanks you guys for tuning in.